I was trying to tame down my hair. It's getting a little out of control, but I decided I'm just gonna embrace it. We're all friends here. Hey there, fashion friends. Welcome to April's Thirsty Thursday, April Fool's Day. I promise you there will be no fooling on today's episode. I'm not a good prankster, I can't lie. So if you are new here on these Thirsty Thursday Q&As, you guys send me your questions and I answer them, and all while having a drink together. Whether it is a alcoholic beverage or not, maybe it's wine, cocktail, mocktail, tea, maybe it's some coffee, whatever it may be for you. But I do think it is always nice to have a drink together because I feel like it's just a nice social sort of engagement, especially in this kind of virtual time, kind of helps us feel connected. I am drinking house wine again this month. Last month, House Wine was lovely enough to send me a nice little care package. So I'm trying their original red blend. Yes, probably gonna make my French pals cringe at the fact that I chilled my red wine, but you're probably already cringing at the fact that I'm drinking my wine out of a can, so I'm sorry. Oof, that is delicious. It is. It's just nice. It's like refreshing. I don't know. Can red wine be refreshing? I don't know, but it tastes refreshing. So cheers, my fashion friends. Again, if you are new here on these episodes as well, I usually give updates if I have any. I don't really think I have any updates. Yeah, kind of boring. Just as a friendly reminder, on the weeks of my Q&As, I don't actually post a video on Sundays. This just kind of enables for me to get a week break of not having to put out 2 videos. So just to be able to catch up on all the other stuff that goes with the Emily Wheatley brand, I guess. So yes, so thank you for understanding, and we always resume back to the normal posts on Thursday and Sunday of every week. Let's get started because we have a lot of questions, and unfortunately this month I am not able to answer all the questions because I got so many questions this month, which is great, which is awesome. But unfortunately, yes, I will not be able to answer everybody's questions. I did try to kind of pick it so that even the people that aren't getting their questions answered specifically, I think a lot of the questions that I will be answering here today will still help you in your question. Okay, so grab that drink and let's get started.
I don't know how to respond to that.
Girl, wasn't talking to you, Siri, sorry. Okay, so the first question comes from Ramona, and she asks, I want to stop shopping and do a no buy year because my spending has been out of control. Any advice or tips? Okay, that's very exciting that you're gonna do a no buy year, and I commend you because it is definitely very difficult. I myself have never even done like a full-on no buy year. I think I've gone as long as 6 months. But my friend recently did it. She bought 1 pair of jeans in the whole year. And she really enjoyed it, she said. So advice on doing a no buy year. I would say one of the best things you can do is try to separate yourself from any sort of consumer temptation. So when I first went minimalist and did like the no buy for 6 months, kind of got cutthroat, and I eliminated all the retailers off of my Instagram. So I couldn't have any of that temptation put in front of me. As well as that, I just didn't go on any websites. I never did. I just didn't allow myself to do it because you can get pulled in and kind of have that, it's just too easy to cave. But I will say, if you do succumb to the temptation of going on a website, and you find yourself just being drawn to pieces, just play around with it and just put stuff in the cart and then walk away. And normally within 24 hours or 48 hours, the feeling of that impulse or that draw to buy something has gone away. So those are kind of my just go-to tips. But otherwise, yeah, just be strong. Hang in there. Okay, the next question comes from Paula. She asks, I am hearing a lot about skinny jeans being out of style, but they are all I own just now in my jean collection. Any tips for keeping skinny jeans on trend? I talked about this actually a few months ago because I felt that like I heard a lot of the same sort of talk about skinny jeans going out of style, and I freaked out a little bit myself because I still love a good skinny jean. But yeah, so I definitely did a little bit of research, and yeah, maybe it's out of a lot of the trend forecasts, like a lot of these YouTubers that do all these trend forecasts, maybe it's not in those anymore. But I do think that skinnies have sort of established themselves as a staple in our closets. And you can see that by looking at the retailers' websites. So the retailers, the brands still have skinny jeans in their new arrivals, in their new collections, which is a good sign. They're not going to keep anything that's not going to sell. But yes, I do think that what it comes down to is the way that you style your skinny jeans. So I actually have done 2 videos on how to style your skinny jeans in 2020, because I did it in 2020. But I think they're still very relevant for 2021 as well. So I'll link those below, and you can check those out. But yes, it just basically comes down to styling. And so I won't go into it too far because you can get whatever I would say out of those 2 videos and it'll give you a better visual. But yeah, don't worry. Skinny jeans, I think we're still safe with skinny jeans. Okay, so Gwen asks, travel and fashion. Do you plan your wardrobe for travel, or do you have specific items that you travel with that you love? Yes, girl, for sure. I plan my wardrobe for travel hardcore. I'd say when I travel, that is when I plan the most for my wardrobe. Not to sound cliche, but I don't like to travel with baggage. I like to travel as streamlined as possible. It drives me crazy when I have like multiple suitcases. So I get very efficient. I would say I kind of plan it similarly to how I would plan a capsule wardrobe. I usually pick out my anchor pieces that I definitely want to bring. I know that, you know, these are going to be the pieces I really, really want to wear. And then I kind of circle everything else around that. And everything basically works together. Everything can be mixed and matched. So I've done a video on this probably 2 or 3 times. So I'll link those down below for you to check out, but I will definitely be doing another video on this soon, again, to kind of give an update to those videos. And I definitely have my specific items that I always use when I travel. So there's like my Everlane Easy chino. I always bring that with because it's super easy to fold and pack. It doesn't take up much space. They're super, super comfortable for traveling. And as well as that, they just go with everything. So there's things like that. There's a pair of my Citizens of Humanity Charlotte jean that's like a washed black. I always bring those because, again, super comfortable, go with everything, don't show dirt. And then, yeah, I just have kind of my go-to sweatshirts and shirts and stuff as well. Okay, so B asks, how do you maintain a healthy weight? Is it through exercise, diet, or both? Definitely into being active and being healthy and having a healthy lifestyle and eating healthy. I'm really moderate. I walk every single day on our treadmill. We have a stand-up desk with a treadmill, so I can actually do my video editing while walking on the treadmill. Yes, girl. It takes some time to get used to, but it's the most magical thing ever because all about that efficiency, definitely. And then as well as that, I always stretch every single day. I always do like a 15-minute like exercise routine. So whether or not it's just like a little circuit training of like squats, push-ups, lunges, those type of things, or I'll do kind of 15 minutes of yoga. And so all of that is just super moderate, nothing gnarly, but I do it every single day. And because it's just super easy, it doesn't like put my body through absolute turmoil. It's easy to just maintain it. And so I'm more working out to just have that energy, to maintain my health. And as well as that, it then maintains kind of my weight a bit. And I'm talking with my hands a lot. I talk with my hands a lot here. And then for my diet, I am actually vegan, so everything I eat is plant-based. And I would say for the most part, I try to stay away from processed foods. I mean, obviously I still, you know, they're still there for sure, but I would say it's kind of just sprinkled into my diet versus being like a primary thing of my diet. I would say that for sure helps me maintain my health and my weight as well. Okay, so I don't know how to pronounce her name. I think it's Ify? I'm probably totally butchering your name, I'm sorry. But they ask, what are some questions to ask yourself about a piece you're considering, specifically to make sure it's not an impulse purchase? When you're buying something, yeah, I kind of go through a pretty big process. A lot of times for me, I don't even shop. I don't even allow myself to look at a website or go shopping without a sort of intention. When you have that intention, it really does help you ask the right questions. But I'd say just in general, if you come across a piece that you absolutely love and you're pulled into, first, yeah, ask yourself, do I absolutely love this? Or do I love the idea of it? But if you do end up saying, yes, I love this piece, then you gotta ask yourself, does it make sense in my wardrobe, in the sense of, does it circle back to everything in my wardrobe? Can I wear this with at least 80% of my wardrobe? And does it make sense with my daily lifestyle? Do I have anything similar to this? Is this actually filling a gap? Is it gonna serve another purpose that's gonna add more function to my wardrobe? And those are the type of questions, the hard questions you really wanna ask yourself, because especially if it's something like, I always use this as an example, but I'm always pulled in by black cardigans. I love black cardigans and I'm always pulled in by them. And they're always maybe a little bit different, but ultimately they all serve the same exact purpose. So whenever I get pulled in, I have to ask those hard questions. And a lot of the times I end up with the answer being, no, I'm not gonna purchase this. It just doesn't make sense. You have to be a little bit mindful yourself and kind of stop yourself and ask those hard questions. If you still ask those hard questions and kind of like the answers are coming up yes, if you really wanna go further, give yourself like a 24-hour, 48-hour cooling period. I usually give myself like a 48-hour cooling period to really, really think about it. I will sometimes go even longer. I go like weeks sometimes. And if I'm still thinking about that piece, still thinking about that item, like I just keep coming back to it and think, oh yes, I could wear it with this, I could wear it with that, then I will go for the piece. Okay, a little sippy here. All right, so Isabel asks, love your hair. Could you tell us how you get it cut or how you cut it? I've sort of answered it in the past, but I have not gotten my hair professionally cut in over a year. I think that's a big reason why I shaved my hair off in the summer, because I just got so frustrated. I did that, and I think that was a good kind of base point, and I really loved that. And I just kind of have then now been letting it grow out. And so all I've really had to do is just kind of trim. I just basically use the clippers and just buzz the undercut part of my hair. And then up here, I just take the scissors and just do kind of like an angled snip throughout, and just kind of to maintain the length so it doesn't get too crazy and unruly. And now I'm just kind of letting it grow out a bit. I'm gonna let it grow out a little bit so I can have like a little, little drape. Okay, so Ash asks, I work as a laboratory technician, so steel-toed boots, safety glasses, and lab coat every day. I usually wear a plain or striped shirt with jeans every day. What are some small accessories I can invest in to elevate my look a little so I don't feel so sloppy or plain? First off, I love that look. I think that sounds great. I think steel-toed boots are so steezy. If I'm kind of visualizing what you're wearing, I think it really doesn't need accessories. It's more just comes down how you style it. So I'm not exactly sure how you're styling this. But if it was me and I was rocking steel-toed boots every day, I'd be wearing some straight cut jeans, maybe like a dark denim, and doing like a really cool kind of vintage thick cuff, like a double cuff. And then with your shirts, doing a full tuck with just a real cool belt that sort of ties in with the steel-toed boots. And that to me is just a really timeless, clean look with a little bit of edge, with that little bit of masculinity mixed with the femininity. So you guys know I love that. I love that juxtaposition. So that's kind of what I would do. And I think you could literally rock that same exact silhouette every single day and just change out the shirt, maybe change out the jeans, and you'd be set. It looks really good when you belt and kind of compartmentalize with the tucked in shirt and the jeans, and then frame it with a lab coat. Yes, girl. Okay, so Cornish asks, hello Emily, how do you declutter when they are pieces you love, but you want to have a smaller wardrobe? Great question, because I do actually get this question quite a bit. And it's a difficult one, because I think if you are somebody that's going minimalist or just going with wanting to have a smaller, more refined wardrobe, and you're going to declutter and you might be, pretty pared down, but you want to get rid of more, and all you have left is pieces that you love. I think you have to ask yourself, like, how small do I want to go, and does that make sense? Do I really need to go that small? I'd say for me, my theory really when it comes to a minimalist wardrobe is I'm not one that's like, oh, you got to go as pared down as possible. You can only have 33 items specifically, that's it. I'm more of the mindset of just having pieces that you absolutely love and make sense together. So if that means that you still have 100 pieces in your wardrobe, 150, maybe it's even 200, I don't know. I ultimately see it as long as every single piece in your wardrobe is one that you love, 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 and it has function, it has purpose, it circles back to everything else in your wardrobe, it tells the story, and that you're aware of its existence, then I think there's nothing wrong with keeping it. Now I get it, there are times where people are moving and maybe they can't take all of their clothes with them. Maybe they only have, a certain amount of space in their new place. If you're talking about getting rid of something that you absolutely love, then I think what you have to then do is look at your wardrobe in its entire collection and really look at the pieces that you love the most and that you get the most value of and that you grab to the most. Maybe you go for a month and kind of, tick the items that you're going for the most, and the ones that have the least ticks you get rid of. It could be something like that. Okay, so the Toon Project asks, would love to know your tips on avoiding a perfectionist mindset when it comes to a minimal wardrobe. I often find myself hunting for the perfect piece to replace something I already have that's perfectly usable. This usually happens at the start of the new season when I am decluttering and creating a seasonal capsule wardrobe. I get caught up in the shiny new things that other people have when looking for inspiration. Just trying to find contentment and shop my own closet more. Fully feel you on this. Yes, I think, we can all relate to this for sure. What having a minimalist wardrobe or a capsule wardrobe is all about is having a collection that's curated, that's mindful and functional. But I think if you can kind of use some of the tips that I've already kind of answered and talked about pieces that you love, pieces that have function, all of those sort of things, and kind of always maintain that same mindset, even with the pieces that you have, it's a lot easier to find that contentment. I think it is important to understand that shiny new things always seem better, right? But once they're in your closet, once you've worn them a few times, that kind of goes away. So I think one of the things that you can do when you start feeling yourself being tempted by other pieces or by new seasonal pieces is return back to your own wardrobe and kind of practice visualization in the sense of like looking at a piece and remembering that same sort of feeling you felt when you came across that piece for the first time or when you saw that piece, as new, and kind of remembering why you fell in love with that piece in the first place. Ultimately, what it comes back to is just if you are finding yourself being tempted, sometimes you just got to remove yourself from that situation as well. So kind of like what I said with the no buy thing, maybe for a little while you need to separate yourself from retail brands, from perusing on different websites to kind of remove yourself from that temptation. Okay, so Vera asks, I would love to know a bit more about your background and qualifications in photography and video, as you are very good. Thanks. Okay, so yeah, I've touched on this a bit in the past, but I'll touch on it again because I know I have a lot of new subscribers this month. Yay! I worked in the fashion industry for about a decade, and I've always been like into blogging, so I was always doing some sort of blog on the side for fun. And the last 2 years of my career, I started to do videos for my blog posts. So I started to just create videos on my phone and taught myself how to edit on iMovie on my Mac. And I ended up just absolutely falling in love with making videos. So I was making videos all the time. And then, so eventually with that, I became a freelance videographer, and I actually exited the fashion industry. I decided to make the jump into freelance videography and did that for a few years. So then when it came to me deciding to do YouTube, it was kind of a symbiotic situation because I decided to take my experience in fashion and my experience in videography and put them together to make this YouTube channel. So there we go. The rest is history. Cheers to that. Okay, so Suzanne asks, how do you look stylish in very hot and humid weather? How can you add spice to very basic tops and shorts? Funny you should ask. I'm actually planning on doing a video here in the next few weeks on styling for hot weather, because I've had a lot of questions from people asking this very same thing. So I think this is definitely a time to do a video on it. So I'm not gonna go really into it because I am gonna be doing a video on it. So just wanted to let you know to stay tuned. Okay, so Jasmine asks, it doesn't look like I'll be going back to the office anytime soon, and wearing the same 3 to 4 pieces on Zoom is getting stale. Any suggestions on styling from the waist up? I'd say my biggest tip for styling from the waist up is layers. So, or accessories. So layering with clothes or layering with basics and accessories, because obviously this is all you're seeing. So you think about like this look that I'm wearing right now. If I eliminated the turtleneck that I have underneath and just did that, well, that actually kind of looks good. Maybe that's not a good example, but I don't know. So that's, I mean, it's still a fine look for sure. Yeah. But then when you bring back in the little bit of layer, it just adds a little bit of dimension, a little bit more interest to the look. This might not be the best example, but you get what I'm saying. So I would say that is kind of like your best sort of go-to thing, is to kind of always think about layers. So maybe it's a nice shirt with a blazer and a cute little scarf. My sort of go-to is the number 3. So I always have kind of 3 bits happening. So right now I have the turtleneck, my sweatshirt, and I'm wearing rings. So that's 3 pieces of sort of interest that can kind of, you know, just add a little bit of zest to it. Like you said. Hi, cuties. Okay. Had to take a little break to have dinner with the boys. This wine's going down real nice. Okay. Laura asks, how do you find things that are your style when it isn't popular or in at the moment? For example, I have a combination of a minimal and bohemian style. There are so many times I settle for items because I can't seem to find anything that is exactly what I want or am looking for. For this, I always say the best way to go about it is just going to thrift stores. I'd also say another option is Etsy. Etsy is a good option because there's definitely little niches on Etsy. So if you type in kind of what you're looking for, so if it's bohemian style clothes and you type in bohemian, you can usually find somebody that's probably your same vibe, wants some bohemian pieces but can't find it, so they're making them. And it's fantastic because then you end up probably getting a more unique piece anyways. Lisa asks, do you build modules or capsules for things like loungewear, sleepwear, or workout clothing? If so, what suggestions do you have for building small and efficient modules to cover extra items that don't necessarily fit into normal core wardrobe? Ooh, fantastic question. Funnily enough, stay tuned for the loungewear, Got that little gem coming up. I would say I don't create capsule wardrobes for sleepwear or for my workout clothes. For my sleepwear, I have like 3 things that I rotate, you know, obviously like as they get dirty as I'm like washing them, and they're all black, of course. And then for my workout gear, same sort of thing. I have my go-to sort of rotation. I can just easily mix and match all the pieces that I have. So I don't really, I mean, I guess I kind of have a capsule wardrobe in the sense that I'm very mindful about what I choose and everything can kind of mix and match and work together. So I guess, yeah, maybe I do have a capsule wardrobe for those. Basically answering that question, I've come to the realization that yes, I have a capsule wardrobe or module for every single category in my life. So there we go. Thank you, Lisa. I've discovered something new about myself today. All right, you guys, so there we have it. That is our Thirsty Thursday for April. Yay. So again, if you are new here, these Q&As happen every first Thursday of the month, and I will send out a reminder to ask you guys for your questions, usually around a week ahead of time. I hope that you guys had fun with me. Hopefully you had a drink, had a little relaxing moment to yourself, took a little time for yourself because it's much needed, especially in these times. If you did enjoy yourself, you know what to do. Give me that thumbs up, comment below, share with your friends, and subscribe for future weekly episodes. All right, you have a beautiful rest of your night. Stay healthy, stay safe, love, and support each other. And we will definitely be chatting soon. Cheers.